Congratulations, you made it. You've taken the plunge. Come on in, the water's fine. I'm Robert Young. I'm a land surveyor from Texas, and we'll be taking this journey together. We'll be going step by step through GIS out of the box. For over 10 years, I've been using GIS in the surveying businesses I've been involved in. We've taken the best information and broke it down into 5 simple steps where anyone can follow. This information comes to you on DVDs. It also is on CDs for audio, and there's also a manual, and it's all tied together. It's for all learning styles so that everyone can catch on. You know, if you're the kind of person that just buys programs or buys books and really doesn't ever use them or apply them, I really urge you to take advantage of our 30-day money-back guarantee and go ahead and just box it. Box it, send it back to us, we'll send the money back to you, because this program is really for people that want to excel, people that want to embrace the new technologies, people that want to provide more value and higher quality deliverables to their client, people that want to add more sectors and more divisions to their companies by the services that they're able to offer. In spite of the advantages of GIS, which are huge and just unbelievable that I've encountered over the past 10 to 12 years, there's still fears. There's fears that we all have. There's fears that the GIS folks are just not going to accept us, or there's fears that the GIS folks are going to create an environment where our measurements are going to be too precise and we're going to be forced to reduce our standards. I mean, all these things are myths. And I think the biggest fear that most of us face, other than just change itself, is the fear that we know we need to get involved in GIS. We just don't know when, someday. And we just don't know where to start. The biggest question that I get asked, as I've given seminars and been doing this again for over 10 years, is how do I make money using GIS? And that's a great question, and there's many, many answers depending upon where you are and what you do. My story as far as GIS is that in 1997, bought a survey company that was doing about $300,000 a year. By 2006, it was doing close to $7 million. We had really grown. That's when I got out of that company and started Young & Associates, surveying and mapping. In our first year at Young & Associates, we did $6 million doing surveying and GIS mapping services. We had a competitive edge. Let's get your competitive edge rolling today. Let's get GIS out of the box and go ahead and get started. Scanning, really cool stuff. Probably the most dull and boring portion of creating your own GIS. And I remember back in the days of static GPS where we would sit for 4 or 5 hours just to get a position. But scanning is very important. Even though it's boring, or can be boring and can be dull, it's extremely important. A recent example, you know, why do we scan? So we can have digital records and protect our records from natural disasters or fire, flood, whatever. Hurricane Ike hit recently in Houston because an ex-employee who's a good friend had scanned all their files and geo-referenced them. They were able to help restore where property corners were because they had been washed away from the storm. They were also able to resolve elevation data, and they were paid well to sell data back to insurance providers and FEMA and whomever government agencies so that they could resolve those insurance claims. Had they not had their documents scanned, many of them they're gone forever because of the devastation that occurred during that storm. They lost a lot of their files. Backing up your data. As you scan every day, you scan either to a PC or to a network server. In either case, we recommend an external hard drive. And the external hard drive that we recommend is really an internal hard drive that has a dock that hooks up to your computer. Whether it's a PC or whether it's a server, it really doesn't matter. Scanning, in the case of the boring situation that I was talking about, back when I first started getting into GIS, had over 20 years of data to scan. We hired some temps and bought scanners and low-end computers, and we just resolved it over several months and got all of our data scanned so that we could get it current. That's one way to do it. There's off-site scanning services. There's services that will come to your office. So that's something that you need to look at as far as historical information, and we'll be discussing that on the webinars. Where to buy, and that's up to you. There's all Best Buy, there's all kinds of electronic stores. There's newegg.com on the internet, which is a great place we found to buy electronics and buy computer information. The other thing to think about is in the structure of your file on your server or on the computer, hard drive, wherever you're going to keep this GIS data, is how to structure your project and make sure that you name the scan files, that they're under a folder perhaps called scans underneath the project folder. And when you think about the nomenclature, you should also think about the different types of data that you're going to be scanning and put them in the same order every time. It makes it much easier to search through your jobs if you know that the deeds are in one portion and the field notes are in another. So consistency is important when you start the scanning process, scanning your current files and your historical files. Backing up the data, I can't tell you enough how important it is to back it up and have multiple sets based on my own experiences. If data can be lost, it will be lost. So multiple backups is highly recommended. And scanning, although it may be boring and mundane, when you get your data scanned, it is one of the most rewarding things to be able to sit at your desk using your geographical file cabinet, your computer screen with ESRI, ArcMap, ArcView running, and be able to retrieve multiple jobs, data from multiple jobs with the click of a mouse. It's really amazing, and it's something that I think you'll find great value in. But that's where you get started, is digitizing the data. Digitizing, scanning your documents, getting your documents into a digital format so that you can have all of the field notes and the legal descriptions and gate combinations and correspondence and emails, whatever you could think of that could be put into a PDF format or a digital format and attach it to your projects. As far as scanning a document, in our manual we go through step by step how to scan a document, and we recommend Adobe Acrobat as far as the software. And as far as the scanner, we recommend any scanner that you have will work. If you're going to be dealing with multiple pages, the attachment where you can have multiple sheets where you can feed in documents of, I think it's up to 50 pages, I don't know, but something like that, 30 to 50 pages. Those will come in really handy when you have large legal descriptions and a lot of information to scan. But all you need to do is get your scanner, whether you get it at Best Buy or whether you already have one, or you go out to Newegg or eBay or wherever you get a scanner, hook it up to your computer, make sure you have Adobe Acrobat software. With the scanner powered up, you go and you open Adobe and you go to File, Create PDF from Scanner, and there are screenshots of this in our manual. And with the Adobe Scan window open, you choose New PDF if it's the first time you're going to be creating one to go with the file. As we go through this, the 5 steps, we're going to reiterate many times about how important it is that every project has a unique project number, and everything associated, every file, every scan, every photograph image of monuments or evidence, anything that you have that's associated with that project has the same project number in it.